Hello, this is Jake Waters and this is my FIL 104 assessment. Netflix. Netflix have given independent films more exposure, which encourages the indie market to grow. This allows greater opportunity for originally creative artists to enter the market. The audience therefore has a more diverse catalogue of films on the biggest streaming platform for the film industry. The new upcoming talent are able to introduce themselves as indie filmmakers up against the formulaic Hollywood approach. Their categorization of films, especially critically acclaimed, introduces less discrimination towards indie films. For example, Chris Holmand and Justin Wyatt write in contemporary American independent film that Scorsese's Gangs of New York is an independent. It allows Scorsese to take advantage of the new Netflix way of distributing film rather than the traditional theatrical release, meaning he uses his auteur popularity to promote his film as if it had theatrical release. In an article on Wired about Netflix and Amazon with indie films, Julia Greenberg discusses the fact that number of indie filmmakers have grown substantially, which agrees with my hypothesis that Netflix is in fact contributing to the rise in indie talent gaining exposure. She also discusses with Rob Burnett, Fundamentals of Caring, that we are discovering films through the medium of Netflix that would get minimal theatrical release. Scorsese's The Irishman was released on Netflix with little theatrical release. Could home screenings become the future? The film seems to be a combination of indie and Hollywood making. Scorsese seems to have the ultimate use of the platform as he is widely regarded as an auteur. The marketing for the film was Scorsese's latest film. The New York Film Academy suggests to their students that they attempt to get their films distributed on Netflix. Sarah E.S. Sinwell also quotes Steve Swayze, the VP of Netflix, that their criteria for distributing the selected indie films relies on queue demand, critical appeal, sizable audience appeal, buzz, and film festival premieres. In 2009, Netflix partnered with the non-profit arts organisation Film Independent to fund the Netflix Find Your Voice filmmaking competition. Surdeep Sarma comments that Netflix made higher offers than theatrical distributors. Filmmakers sometimes accepted less money and more traditional theatrical release deals, which supports the argument that, like The Irishman, filmmakers using the platforms are making more money through online streaming releases over the original distribution format of cinemas. She also describes an interviewed filmmaker's response as his audience for his film as people who would pay money to see it in a theatre. This shows a diversity in filmmakers, as in this instance, certain directors would prefer the original distribution format of theatrical as it would suit their film better. In an article written by Sean K. Curtin on Screen Rant, describes Netflix as a breeding ground for independent film, and that it has evolved from a simple streaming service to a powerhouse in indie movie distribution. To me, this statement illustrates just how prominent Netflix and other streaming services like Amazon have been able to boost the exposure of rising independent stars. He goes on to talk about Spanish director Pedro Almodovar and how he made a defensive argument towards the movie-going experience in the early 21st century. Thanks for listening.